Hi, Todd Martin here. In this walking code video, I'm going to do a really fun exercise working on walking forward and backward in a straight line, and also walking in a turning circle going forward and a turning circle going backward. This is going to really help with your feeling of core rotation and how that core rotation moves your body either forward or backward. I remember when I was trying to learn how to roller skate backwards a long time ago, and I was finding it interesting and challenging in that I couldn't push myself backwards like I could push myself forward. And I thought that was rather strange until I realized after developing the Walking Code series that it's not a matter of pushing yourself forward or backwards. It's really the rotation of the core that determines whether your body moves forward or back. And so what I had to do when I was learning how to skate backwards is learn the particular core rotation sequence that would allow me to skate backwards. Because you really can't push yourself backwards on roller skates any more than you can push yourself forwards on roller skates. The real difference is that we learn how to rotate the body to move forward when we're very young, just as we learn how to walk. And we don't really develop that same body memory when it comes to walking or skating backwards. So first I'm just going to do a demonstration walking forwards and walking backwards, and then I'm going to demonstrate walking in a turning circle going forwards and a turning circle going backwards. After the demonstration, I'm going to describe the core movements that are involved in making these movements happen. And remember, if you like this video, please share, like, and subscribe. If you haven't signed up for the Walking Code online course, which gives all of my videos in one really big, great package, please visit my website at toddmartinmd.com, or you can click on the link below this video. Let me begin with an exercise of just doing a normal walk forward. I'm going to pause and change that into a backwards walk. I'm going to pause again and reverse. Now let's do a side view. Let's look at the core rotation that's required to make the movement change from forwards to backwards. When I'm walking forwards, I'm using what I call torsional rotation on the side of the standing leg. So if you've seen any of my other videos, torsional rotation is when the upper body, or the upper torso, the thoracic spine, turns in the opposite direction of the lower torso, or the lumbar spine. So we create this torsional rotation with activation of our upper abdominal muscles and our lower abdominal muscles. By using that torsional rotation, I'm pulling myself forward as I move. Now the difference when I walk backwards is I'm actually going to use what I call concordant rotation. I'm going to turn my upper torso in the same direction as my lower torso as I step back, and that's going to create a backwards movement. When I change weight, I initially use torsional rotation. I'm flexing my left hip and I'm turning my upper torso counterclockwise, and I'm turning my lower torso clockwise. That collects my weight backwards. You'll see that at this portion of the step, my right arm is still swinging forwards even as I travel backwards. Let me reverse that. As I travel backwards, my right arm is initially traveling forwards because my upper torso on the right is turning forwards. As I complete the step, or the swing through portion, you'll see the arm direction switch because now I'm using concordant rotation. My upper torso is turning clockwise and my lower torso is turning clockwise. At the same time, I flex my right hip. So I'm really sinking all of my weight, all of my energy of the upper torso rotation, lower torso rotation, and flexion of the hip creates that full backwards motion. The only difference between that and moving forwards is the upper torso rotation. If I want to change that back motion, that back leg swing, to a forward leg swing, all I need to do is turn my upper torso back in the opposite direction from the lower torso. That converts my back step into a forward step. At no time do I actually pull my spine backwards as I move to get myself to move backwards. The rotation is always forward. What determines whether I go backwards or forward is how that upper torso rotation relates to the rotation of the lower abdomen and the action of the hip joints. Let me take another step backwards. I'm going to change weight, going back, still turning forward on the left, and then I'm going to swing through. I'm going to change weight and then swing through. Let me convert this to a forward motion by changing my upper torso rotation. Again, I'm going to change weight and swing through, change weight and swing through. When I move forward, that change of weight and swing through both use torsional rotation. When I go backwards, the change of weight uses torsional rotation and the swing through uses concordant rotation. Change weight, swing through. Change weight, swing through. Going forwards, change weight, swing through. Change weight, swing through, change weight, swing through. What we can learn when we go backwards is really how we're using the lower abdominal rotation, or that tucking of the pelvis, to pull the body in the direction that we want to move. Many people commonly think of this as using the glutes because you can feel a tightening, and we think we're pushing off. But we're not pushing off the glutes, we're really just tucking the lower abdominal muscles to pull us in the direction of this standing leg. I'm not using hip extension to change weight here. Hip extension would be pushing my knee backwards. I'm using tucking or rotation of the lower torso to pull myself forwards. If I want to travel backwards, now I'm going to tuck my pelvis on the right and actually pull myself backwards. So I'm tucking in on the right to pull myself backwards, and then I swing through using flexion of my right hip. Again, I'm going to change direction to going forwards. I'm already tucked here on the right. I'm just going to change the upper torso rotation, and then I'm going to lift my right knee, which would be flexion of my right hip. I'm going to lift that to continue the motion. When I go backwards, I lift my left hip to change weight, still tucking on the right, turning forward on the right, and then I flex my right hip to move backwards. If I want to take another step backwards, I'm now going to tuck on my left using my lower abs. As I rotate forward on the left, which I was already doing, I'm going to lift or flex my right hip, tucking under to pull myself backwards. Then I flex the hip to swing through. I take another step backwards, tucking on the right, and then I swing through. To go forwards, torsional rotation. To go backwards, concordant rotation, following the torsional rotation. So practice the tucking action and feel how it shifts your weight from one side to the other while keeping your pelvis aligned. Avoid tucking on both sides, which will pitch your pelvis backwards. We tuck on one side or the other, rotating back and forth. This is how we change weight naturally. You see me shifting side to side, but I'm really rotating my belly button and my lower abs to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right. I don't do to the right and to the left at the same time, because that would be what would happen.